Old Bubba Fett here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a really cheap, really quick composter out of just junk pallets. Now I've seen some people really go all out and install braces and everything so it looks like this really high class functioning piece of yard equipment, but for me I just need something functional that just keeps compost in one place, so I kind of just threw this together. The ground's not really level, but I didn't want it to be level. That way the door would swing open, because I'm not going to brace the door to keep it really off the ground too much. I want gravity to open it for me. I threw this thing together in about 5 minutes with my power drill and a lot of beer. But basically, let's show you how this sucker works. You have a little latch here. This thing costs about 25 cents at Rural King. And again, gravity just opens it up. The door just swings open because it's kind of on a hill facing down. And you can see my compost in here. This yard waste is fresh yard waste. I haven't had time to turn my compost. I'll probably turn it later, mix in some kitchen scraps with it first. This PVC rod that's running down the middle of it's an aerator. I stole this idea from a buddy of mine. Basically, it's just a PVC pipe that's just stuck underneath here by tension. And I drilled holes throughout it so the air goes all the way to the bottom of the compost, because circulation of air is essential to get good compost, as well as water. Make sure you always water your compost and make sure it gets good air. We'll go ahead and shut this door back. Now I did brace it in the middle to keep the whole thing from falling in on itself, because I only used about 5 or 6 screws to put this thing together. Again, I just used what scrap screws I had laying around, and this is just junk pallets. I put a brace across right here in the middle. Kind of gives it a little bit more stability, and it also keeps this aerator in place. And then I put a brace going across this way to add extra stability, because the weight of the door was kind of making the thing go crazy. It kept wanting to fall down. Now, I don't know if you can see it, but I basically screwed these things together right here with 2 screws on this side. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get back here. Basically 2 screws on this side as well. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this nail yet. I had a couple ideas to hang some stuff from it, but nothing yet. That'll be a topic for another YouTube video. And then basically, this is just some junk fence I just threw over top of it. It has no purpose to it. I just don't want my dog stepping on it and cutting his paw, so I just threw it on top of there. It looks like it does something, but it doesn't really do anything. And then I just stacked my garden tools next to it, and some extra what's left of the junk pallet wood. Now I found these pallets out behind an old Chinese restaurant out here in Hernando County. They were sitting by the dumpster, so I just threw them in the back of the truck, brought them home, grabbed 4 screws out of my garage, grabbed that little latch, and basically just went to town. The PVC I found on the side of the road, it was left over from a survey crew, I think, because you can see the bright green at the tip. I basically just picked it up, drilled the holes in it real quick. Again, it took me 5 minutes total to put this thing together. If you want something like really fancy, state-of-the-art, then you can spend up to an hour, I guess, building this, but it's just a place where you put compost. Basically where you put leftover scrap food and yard waste so it can rot and turn into soil. So I don't believe in spending too much time on this thing at all. And this composter, my 5-minute composter, is going to last just as long as those 1 to 2 hour compost construction projects did on other YouTube channels. And I've already produced a lot of compost. If you don't mind, you can walk with me over here to my garden beds. This garden bed has some compost in it. I'm going to have to add some topsoil to it. And this garden bed, which we just planted, is a mix of topsoil, compost, and a little bit of manure. But it's mostly compost soil that's taken out of the composter with some topsoil. This garden bed's been very productive. It's produced I don't know how many heads of cabbage. It's produced cantaloupe, watermelon, cucumber, onions, broccoli. It's produced a little bit of everything. We do a little bit of crop rotation out here, so we're rotating it through. We have radishes in here right now, and beets and lettuce, which is what's up next for crop rotation. And I've marked the lanes with beer bottles, so you know which way, how you want to step through this, because it's such a big garden bed. For those of you that don't know, you're not supposed to really step on the soil, because the soil is supposed to be kept loose for the microbes. If you step on it, basically just ruins the soils, and typically nothing will grow there. So you can see where the middle, where I kind of just stepped through when I was planting yesterday, and I just marked it with beer bottles. But basically, that's a 5-minute tutorial on how to build a cheap, effective compost bin out of junk pallets. Again, I hope you liked the video. God bless.